What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Manager, back here to bring you guys another video today. So for those of you who are here for the money motivations, this is not a money motivation video. As you can probably see by the title of this video, this is a video to tell you guys that we're about to see red this week. We are about to see red, and that's why I'm wearing red today. This week is definitely a week for puts, and more puts. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a few different stocks to look at for puts. I'm also going to discuss a few strategies you guys can use to help yourself, maybe going forward, also to cover yourself this week. Just want to remind you guys, this is the very first full week of trading in September, and September is known to be a pretty red month. So that's why we're going to look at puts, that's why we're going to look at some opportunities, how we can best use our money, how to protect our money, and all that good stuff today. So I do want to say, the last video I uploaded, if you've not checked that already, please go check that out. It was pretty much about some stocks which are going to explode soon. Also, thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. That was really nice of you guys. I saw the comment section. You guys did really well there. So yeah, yesterday was my birthday. I had a great time. I enjoyed myself, and now it's back to the stock market. So hopefully you guys are ready for another great video. So to start off this video, I'd like to say, as I mentioned briefly, September is usually known as a red month. And this is actually my first September actively trading. Last year I wasn't really actively trading in September. The previous years I had invested in stocks, but I wasn't, again, actively trading. So this is the first time I'm really actively trading in the September market. Last week was a 4-day trading week. We do not like 4-day trading weeks around here. We don't like short-term trading weeks. All the indexes were down on the week. My portfolio was down on the week. Of course, I did not upload a 100k video this past week because I was obviously celebrating my birthday. But the portfolio was down, the indexes were down, doesn't matter what it was, the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the Russell, they were all down. So it was a red week, and even though this week is not a short-term trading week, we can expect to see more of the same. Look, we went on a few bull runs. We had SPY continuously run. We saw SPY continue to reach new all-time highs, continue to trend upwards past 430, past 440, past 450. It was kind of time for a pullback. It was kind of time for a market correction. And what better time for a market correction than good old September? So for those of you who trade options, you guys know when we're buying a call, we expect the price of a stock to go up. And when we're buying a put, we expect the price of a stock to go down. So that's why I'm saying puts, if you're wondering what I mean by puts. Now the first stock I want to talk about a put for is Tesla. So Tesla was one I was looking at buying a put on Friday. So Tesla started downtrending towards the end of last week. And one thing that I'd like to point out is Elon Musk was asked about the current valuation of Tesla stock, in which he said it was overvalued. So we know he likes to play games, we know he likes to talk a lot, but whether you think it's undervalued or overvalued, whatever, it doesn't matter. Currently it is downtrending. The end of last week it started downtrending, and the puts that I'm looking at with Tesla this week are the $690 puts expiring this Friday. So that is a very short-term put, but I actually started looking at these puts on Friday itself. And if I had taken those puts, I would be up around 70% by now. So one thing to remember is, with options we have time decay, and that eats away at our contract. So I didn't want to hold over the weekend. Sure, I could have gotten early, could have gotten on time, could have already, taken some profit, maybe made it as a day trade. But I'm still looking at those same $690 puts, which are about, I think, $500 right now. So that's what I'm looking at for Tesla. The next stock I'm looking at is CrowdStrike for puts. CrowdStrike is actually one I like to buy and hold long term. So if you don't want to trade puts, because there are people out there who don't want to trade puts on stocks. If you don't want to trade puts on CrowdStrike, then feel free to start buying shares slowly. You might want to dollar cost average into this one, which is buying a share at 260, buying a share at 240, buying a share at whatever. That's what dollar cost averaging is. Buying a couple shares every few days, buying one share per week. That's how you dollar cost average, no matter what the price is. CrowdStrike is one where I think it's going to bleed this week, and it's going to bleed badly. One where I can see opportunity with the put options. But again, it is one that I like for a long-term buy and hold. So I may buy shares of this pretty soon. And another stock that I may buy shares of pretty soon is CHWY, ticker symbol CHWY. So this is sitting around the $74, $75 mark, but it has plenty of room to run in the future. In the near term, however, it is downtrending. It was downtrending last week. It had a good day, I believe, Wednesday. But Thursday it was back to downtrending. Friday it started off nicely. It did have a nice spike up a few minutes into market open, but throughout the rest of the day it just sold off heavily. Now after hours it's also down, and it can keep bleeding, keep pulling down to around the $73 mark. Now bear in mind, it could end up dropping way below that. But for a buy and hold long term, $73, $74 mark is a great buying point. Remember that in the future, you could see this back at $92, $95, maybe even $100 within a few months. So again, tree for short-term puts, but also for the long-term buy and hold. Next, I want to talk about NIO stock, ticker symbol NIO. NIO is one where it's sitting at $37 mark right now. It sold off after hours, and this one is another stock which has been downtrending recently. Now, one thing I want to clarify with NIO is there was a lot of hype, speculation, excitement around this stock maybe 5 or 6 months ago. We expected to see this stock around probably, I'd say, $80 to $100 by the first quarter of 2022. Now we're seeing a lot less people think that. NIO is a stock which is in the electric vehicle market, so you guys have to remember that as well. NIO is also a Chinese stock. You know what's happening with a lot of Chinese stocks right now, just like Alibaba, which we're also going to talk about. They are selling off. The Chinese government is doing some weird stuff, making not the best noise, but making noise about these kind of stocks, these kind of companies, and that's not really helping those of you who are NIO investors like myself. So long term, I have good hopes, high hopes for NIO, but short term, it looks like the sell-off is going to continue. So keep your eyes out for NIO, see what the movement is like this week. Are we going to go back to the $32, $30 mark anytime soon? I doubt it, but I definitely think it does still have some room to bleed, a few dollars this week. We'll see how September pans out for it, but I'd definitely love to see NIO back in the 50s, 60s eventually. So if you want to get into NIO, your best bet right now, if you don't like the short-term puts, is those leaps, those call options for 2023, 2024. I think the 2024 call options are now open. I may be wrong, but that's one to check out. But NIO is one where you're going to have to probably suffer short-term for the long-term gain. If you're someone like me who's, again, investing in NIO, maybe it's time to double down. Maybe it's time to see how far it drops before you start buying more shares of it. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor. It's up to you how you play these kind of stocks. Next one is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. Apple is a stock which saw all-time highs just a couple of weeks ago. If I'm not mistaken, the very first week of September, it started to go close to the $155 mark. It might have even broken the $155 mark briefly, but now it's back in the 140s. It's sitting just under $149 as I record this, and it's slightly down after hours as well. Are we going to see it go back down to 145 potentially this week? Some are saying Apple is going to go down all the way to $139. If that was to happen, then puts on this would print. But Apple is one to keep your eyes out on. Again, if you don't want to play Apple short-term with puts, look at the leaps on this, because Apple is a stock which is consistent. Apple is one of those where you get paid the dividend as well, but it's one where it's not going to be at $140, $150 mark, this time next year. It just won't be. Apple is a company which we all know. Apple is a company which so many people use. Apple is a company which is continuously growing. There's always new products. There's always new information. There's always something that they're doing. They are not going to be held down for long. Same way when I made a video about it, it was $120 back in April, May. Same way that I'm making a video about it now. Yes, short term might go to $140, might go even less than that, but it's not going to continue to drop long term. So the short term puts on Apple, short term puts on so many of the different stocks I've mentioned so far in today's video. Now a couple more stocks to look for puts on this week before I also give you guys one stock which is being short squeezed, which is an interesting one to look at for call options. First, I'm going to start with the Tattooed Chef. Long term, I love this company. Long term, I have high hopes for this company as well, just like NIO. Short term, it's looking like it is pretty wobbly right now. It's around the $20 mark. It has space to drop to around $18, $17, but it also has long-term potential to run back up to the $29 mark, which I believe we'll see in no time. Tattooed Chef is down after hours as well, so keep your eyes on what it does this week. If you're a long-term investor and you like growth companies, Tattooed Chef is definitely one to go do your due diligence on. I think this is a company which is heavily oversold right now and it's undervalued, so that means potential opportunity. If you see it back at the $17, $16, even again under the $16 mark briefly, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's the kind of time you want to be loading up on it. But yeah, Tattooed Chef is one. The next one is Caterpillar, ticker symbol CAT. Caterpillar was one I was looking at call options for recently, but after this past week where it just sold off, it was like around $212, now it's back at $205 and it's still selling off. We'll probably see the sell off to the $203 mark, maybe even lower than that. I think long term, I'm not so confident on this stock as I am with the others. I mentioned Tattooed Chef, NIO, but those are growth stocks which obviously have a lot more potential when it comes to their growth. But Caterpillar is one where short term, again, you have the potential with the put options. It's not one I would say look at call options for anytime soon, but of course, it's up to you how you play this, up to you how you trade this. So your Lotto play for this week, your potential call option play. Meta Materials, ticker symbol MMAT. This is one which is being short squeezed right now. I believe they're also announcing their dividends. I'm not sure if it's been announced yet or if it's going to be announced, but I'm hearing it's going to be a pretty high dividend. So if you would like a dividend stock, this could be one for you to buy, but also keep in mind that it's being short squeezed. So if you see the stock go from $5 to 6 something and then back to $4 or something, you can't be surprised. If you want to get a solid dividend stock, there are plenty more. I have a whole section for dividend stocks in the Discord, so check that out. But MMAT is one which started off last week strong, but then sold off pretty much the rest of the week, and it had one really good day where it just popped off. But that's what you're going to get with these kind of stocks. So if you want a Lotto play, if you want to play for call options, have a look at those MMAT call options. Give yourself enough time to expiry just in case anything crazy happens. If you have the money to risk, then remember that that money can be lost. That money can end up being zero. You know, your option can expire worthless if you don't manage your trade properly. So make sure that you do manage your trade properly. Now, speaking of managing trades properly, we're entering a market correction, a period of testing times, let's say. For those of you who are newer investors, you might not be used to this. For those of you who are newer traders, you're definitely not used to this, and it's going to cause you to be emotional. Protect your funds, don't always dive into trades. This is the kind of period where instead of making a trade where I can potentially lose, I prefer not to trade at all. Like with the Tesla trade where I didn't buy the put, well, I missed out on money, but sure, I didn't lose money. And at this kind of period of time, in this kind of market, I'm more worried about not losing money than I am about, missing out on money or getting those gains which I could have got or whatever. I'm more focused on protecting my funds at this kind of period of time. Yes, I like trading options. Yes, I like trading call options and seeing 300, 400, 500% returns, but you can't always see that. Sometimes you're going to lose money, and sometimes the best way to avoid losing money is just not trading at all. Even if you have a plan, even if you know what you're doing, even if you know this stock is going to bounce back, sometimes you don't know when it's going to bounce back. Sometimes you don't know how long it's going to take to bounce back. Sometimes you don't know all the important factors, all the vital factors, which is going to help you manage your trade. So in those times, don't be afraid to not trade at all. There are going to be days, maybe this week or next week or throughout this month, where I say, you know what, I got potential ideas, I'll put them out there, but I'm not going to trade this. I'm not going to trade, I'm not going to make any moves. There's going to be some times, I can guarantee that. But it's up to you guys what you do. I know there's a lot of people who are always wanting a play, who always want to be in a trade. You don't have to be. One of the best positions you can take is not having any position at all. So please do remember that as you trade this week and throughout the rest of the month, and to be honest, throughout the rest of your life. So that is it for today's video. One thing I like to point out is you guys must check out the stock option starter pack. It is that first link in the description below. I'll also drop it in the comment section as well as the Discord, link to the Discord. So make sure you guys come and join the Discord. If we do have a lot of people coming to check out these videos, then make sure you guys check out the Discord as well. We have a premium section where I have a lot of call outs there. We have premium discussions. You can let me know if you want a little free trial or something like that. But don't push it, don't stretch it. It's $15 a month. You can afford that. You're going to make that money back with one trade. You can make that money back with one trade. And with the plays I've given you guys today, if you like those kind of things, check out the watch list today. The full watch list will be available in Discord today. So make sure you guys keep your eyes out on that one. There's always some interesting stocks there, interesting gems there with little breakdowns. Again, full breakdowns are available in the premium Discord. So hopefully this week is a week where we can make money. Sure, our portfolios might not be green, but we can still make money, we can still find opportunities in these kind of markets. Thanks a lot for watching this video. That's it from me. I got money making, you got money making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.